And blessed to be a part of your day. Kevin Miller in the morning here on KIDO Talk Radio. Phone numbers 580-5436, 580-KIDO. So a few things we're going to talk about, most notably this issue involving impeaching the president. And apparently you've got Maxine Waters ready to go. You've got good old Maxine who apparently is bragging about this. And you think to yourself, why in the world would somebody who, in fact, has done so much and a fairly controversial figure who's been called out again and again and again openly brag about impeaching the president of the United States? Now, what I have to share with you, if you want to, how should I put this? If you want to stay in the bed, if you don't want to wake up, if you don't want to be fired up, if you don't want to be informed, this is not the clip that you want to listen to. This is not the clip that you want to react to. And if you are already caffeinated, ready to go, and you think that all is lost, and you think that your vote doesn't matter, this is why it's important to stay informed. And a sidebar here concerning my own self-reliance and self-sustainability, this is why you need to listen to us in the morning.
All the time, but I didn't do it that time. But when I compare what you're doing with what we have in Washington, D.C., in the highest office of the land, I wake up in the middle of the night and all I can think about is I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. I have never seen anything like this before in my life. And so to all of our elected officials, to Betty, to all of you progressives that are here, we've got some work to do. And it's not simply about resistance. It's about ensuring that we help people to understand that we deserve better.
Right. There you have Maxine Waters at 580-5436, 580-KIDO, simply saying we're going to get him. We are going to get him. I don't understand it. I really wonder about this. Here you have an elected lawmaker advocating, going after, taking down the president of the United States because we deserve better. What the heck does that mean? Can anybody tell me? What the heck does that mean? I want to know. So let's talk a little bit more about this at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Like I said, I'm just sitting here looking at this and thinking to myself, what has our great republic come to when you have a lawmaker openly advocating, I'm going to get him? What did the president of the United States do except save us from the Barack Hussein Obama economy? That's the scoreboard, right? Unemployment at what, less than 4%? Look at Idaho with Obama. People were losing their homes. People were upset. People were destitute. Now we're prosperous. Obama, Trump. Who would you rather have? Patriot Ray, good morning. You're on KIDO Talk Radio with Kevin Miller. Hello.
Good morning. Well, Maxine Waters is right. We need to make a change. She needs to go. This nutcase and all the nutcases following her are quite something else. I just find it amazing that people even listen to her. But they do, and they reelect her, and they keep putting her in with all the things that she's got following her. And yet, boy, she wants to get rid of the president, and they get rid of her. It's just amazing. I hope that you just have a wonderful day, Kevin. Keep up the good job, man. You're doing wonderful. And stay fired up. Thanks, Liberal Steve. Talk to you later. Have a good day.
All right.
God bless.
God bless. Thank you, Patriot Ray. Let's go to Marlon in Star. Good morning. You're on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Marlon.
Good morning, Kevin. How are you?
Not bad. And you?
Doing well. Heading into work here. I just a little comment on Maxine Waters. I heard the clip, and I think there's two parts here. One, I think she better remember the 2016 election, and the people will come out in the midterms, and they're going to come out in 2020. All we hear is the liberal side of these, the hypocrisy on the left, but the people will speak, and they'll stand up again, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen in the midterms, and it will happen again in 2020. As long as Trump stays on the same path, people care what happens and what affects their pocketbook. That's the biggest thing that they're going to notice. And she needs to understand one thing, too, that because she's from California didn't dictate. They might dictate what happens there, but not in the rest of the country. We proved it in the 2016 election, and it will happen again. She's unhinged, and she's going to learn that she has a following, but it's only in California. Appreciate what you do.
All right, Marlon, thank you. Appreciate you calling in from Star. But, and we've got a lot more because she gets to impeach. But let's just go back to this a little bit more where she talks about threatening people and laughing about it.
There are those who said that we lacked civility when I got up and talked about the president's cabinet, and I said, if you see him anywhere, if you see him at a restaurant, if you see him in a department store, even at a gasoline station, just tell him you're not welcome here or anywhere. And so it frightened a lot of people.
Why are they laughing? This is harassment. This is mob rule. This is not the United States of America. They've essentially decided to have some type of cold war against people that are conservatives because of their political beliefs. And again, this is just an offshoot of what Barack Hussein Obama put us through. Back to your phone calls. Kevin Miller in the morning. Phone numbers here, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Earl in Meridian, good morning. You're on KIDO Talk Radio. Hey, Earl.
Good morning, Kevin. Great show as usual. Really appreciate what you're doing with the Maxine Water thing. It's just interesting that I guess we shouldn't be surprised by this. They can't recognize the federal law, i.e. the marijuana laws, the state she's from. They talk about having to serve cake to everybody, yet they talk about going ahead and ostracizing people in restaurants and places and telling them they're not welcome. So, they don't have any respect for anybody, the laws. Why would they respect our electoral process?
I still can't believe you have an elected member of Congress laughing about encouraging thugs to harass conservative, God-fearing people.
Exactly. And they absolutely flip out if somebody politely says, look, let me recommend another baker. You can go there. They will serve you business-wise. You can buy a cake here. We're just not going to make an X type of cake. So it really disturbs me to no end that they do this. Please don't get me wrong when I say we shouldn't be surprised. I am disturbed by it. I'm just not surprised. They just have no respect for the laws. Look at they had 8 years to fix the immigration system. They didn't do it. And so they just say, well, let's just let people break the laws and not enforce them. They talk about getting rid of ICE because, hey, we don't need those guys because we're not really going to enforce the immigration laws anyway.
And those people that urge people to inform them were xenophobe, terrorist, nationalist, and populist, and all those sorts of things.
Yes, exactly. No, drives me up a wall. But again, I'm just not that surprised. I listen to the folks and the misinformation and the lack of truth that they spread. It just is amazing. I'm disappointed right now in our country. We take a look at what's going on with the investigation into Trump. It's just another example of them ignoring the law. There's so many circumstances surrounding Hillary with her or former Secretary of State Clinton. There's so much stuff surrounding her with the election. You talk about what happened with Bernie Sanders, what happened with Fusion GPS, what happened with the Uranium One. She's guilty of so many things, and they're not doing anything to investigate her that the public is of which the public is aware. They just don't respect the law, and they enforce it only when it benefits them, and they only embrace civility when it benefits them, and then they go the exact opposite direction to be extremely mean when they don't get their way, and they start ignoring the rule of law because it's just okay because they didn't get what they want. And real American people don't want what they want. And what they don't realize is real American people elected Trump.
And we've got to protect the real America. Earl, God bless you. Have a great day.
God bless. Great show. Tell your staff wonderful stuff. Goodbye, sir.
All right. James in Boise, good morning. You're with Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, James.
Good morning. Earl stole most of my thunder. He echoed most of what I was going to say. The only thing that I had different than that was you said, what's Trump done to the Maxine Waters and the left? He won when he should not have in their mind. So that's why they're so upset about this. But my thought is it's the same old thing. It's just I'm so happy about all the social media that we have. This had happened, same as under Bill Clinton 20 years ago. There wouldn't have been half as much information. I think that's why he did so well. The media had his back. We didn't have social media to prop him up, just talk radio. Not to prop him up, but excuse me, take him down in the sense of the negativity that he did.
Well, you remember Obama when Obama said we're bitter because we cling to our guns and our religion.
Exactly. But the thing is that we are able to get this information out and see the other side of it. People just took media at face value 20 years ago. They didn't have these kind of things with social media and the coverage of it from other sides, and people know the difference. Hopefully, anyway, at least around here they do, from what I understand. I'm not sure how other states, but California is almost a country to itself at this point. But around here, it's, people see the truth of what's happening.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. Take care, Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you, James. I just was resonating when he was talking about California is like another country. Can you really recognize California? Can anybody? I mean, is California the future of America? I hope the heck not. But more of our lovely young lady, Maxine Waters. Could you imagine spending an evening, no, not that type of evening, an evening with Maxine Waters? We'll talk a little bit more about that. If you haven't heard the clips, we'll share them with you. You're listening to 107.5 FM, 580 AM, KIDO Talk Radio. Kevin Miller in the morning. Good morning, everyone.
And, of course, the lying president said that I had threatened all of his constituents. I did not threaten his constituents, his supporters. I do that all the time, but I didn't do it that time. But when I compare what you're doing with what we have in Washington, D.C., in the highest office of the land, I wake up in the middle of the night and all I can think about is I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. I have never seen anything like this before in my life. And so to all of our elected officials, to Betty, to all of you progressives that are here, we've got some work to do.
So she says threaten people that are conservatives that like President Trump. So if you have a Make America Great hat on, or if you have a bumper sticker, it's time to attack. And then she's bragging about, I'm going to get him. Does that sound like bipartisanship to you? And she makes a joke about civility. Another great reason not to live in California. And once again, to everybody moving in from California, I know there are people that say they're from California. They're good people. They're conservatives. They were driven out of that liberal cesspool, although a beautiful state, still a liberal cesspool. Have some appreciation for your new home state and change your darn license plates. Because if you want to keep your California plates, move back to California. Traffic and weather together. Kevin Miller in the morning. Back to your phone calls. You're talking about it. We're talking about it. Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Liberty Linda.
Yes, good morning, Kevin. California isn't the California I knew as a girl. It's a completely different place. Anyway, my sister and I were talking about what a wonderful childhood we had in our younger years growing up with our grandparents. Corporal punishment just wasn't necessary, whether it was our grandmother stopping to teach us how to cook or her reading the Bible to us, and our grandfather, teaching me how to paint the garage or do the irrigation. We had to dig ditches from a block away to get water into our garden. But, Kevin, it wasn't work. It was being together as a family. And, it was a different time. In those days, they just had very good hearts, and it was a different generation. And like I said, that was in California. California is not the state I grew up in. And I wish it would turn back into that state because it was a beautiful, wonderful state at that time. Kind of like your show and your callers. They have those kind of hearts that I grew up with. And I hear it on your show every day. I love it, and you're the designer of your show. You bring that type, you and Ray bring that type into your show. And so I wanted to thank you for that and share that little remembrance of growing up with these wonderful, kind people.
Well, we couldn't do it without y'all, and, we know there's a lot at stake here. And we know we don't take anything for granted, Liberty Linda, and people always say, how's it going? I go, the deep state, whoever else, our signal went out yesterday during September 11th, of all the days to do it. And I wonder who was behind that. And, people go, oh, that's just, no, I don't believe that. These things happen and I'm screaming at people here trying to get us back on the air. And you have to wonder. Yeah, you really have to wonder the effort. Now, before it was from Obama to silence us, but now you've got the deep state that, could be even members of the Republican Party.
Wow. I wonder as well. Because, what you teach, well, not what you teach, your callers and their hearts, the good hearts that want good things. I hear them every day. I hear them this morning on your show. And it's what we need in this country, to get back to the heart, to get back to kindness one to another, love one another, should be our theme. And we hear that on your show every morning. Yes, we talk about the problems that are going on. We need to talk about that as well. But, when we listen to your show, it gets us in the heart. And that's what we need today in the United States. We need that in the whole world. We need to get back to that world, to where kindness to one another.
Well, but Maxine doesn't sound like she wants us to be kind. She wants to destroy us.
It's hard, it's hard for us to understand that. It's hard for us to understand what's going on in our nation that we love so much, saluting our flag. It was just something we grew up with. We love seeing our flag.
I never thought that the term nationalist was an insult.
No, it isn't a bad word. It's a feeling that we have within us. And, growing up, I always had that feeling. And, it hurts us to see that feeling go away and for it to be changed in what's going on in our country.
No,
that's why we call in. That's why sometimes we may sound irritated, but it's because of the love we have. And I think a lot call in that love our Savior on your show as well. And, we just put all that together, and it's something we desire, something we miss, and something we hear through your show. And
well, Liberty Linda, it's our duty to protect what was given to us, and if we don't, we see the left and the deep state trying to take it away from us. But I've got to run, but always appreciate your comments, and you're right on. That's why it's so important that we're here every morning.
Well, we love you. Thank you, Kevin, for being there for us.
We love you, Liberty Linda. Take care.
Okay. You as well. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, coming up, Maxine Waters continues to sing the blues. And, yes, we'll get back to whether or not you would approve whether or not your kids should be spanked in school. If it worked for you, should it? More on that coming up. 107.5 FM, 580 AM, KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning, Kevin.
Blessed to be a part of your day. Kevin Miller in the morning. Coming up, starting tomorrow, your chance to win Kevin Miller's Cash. Going to be a big time. Always looking forward to giving away the opportunity on KIDO Talk Radio for your chance to win up to $5,000. More details at KIDOTalkRadio.com. Joining us now from Washington, D.C., Fox News Radio's Rachel Sutherland on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, good morning, Kevin.
So here we have it. We've got our old friend, the Attorney General, former Senator of Alabama, Jeff Sessions, talking about what is the role of justice or the Department of Justice post-September 11th to take on the terrorists.
That's right. He spoke as the Justice Department yesterday on the 17th anniversary of 9/11, saying that really we've come a long way, but he was really emphasizing that more work needs to be done. In fact, I think one of the main headlines that came out of that was he said the FBI has opened investigations, terror investigations, in all 50 states. So that was a little surprising to hear that. And he was saying that obviously, I mean, we've heard this time and time again, but reiterating the point that the threat has moved online, and made the point that a terrorist in Alexandria, Egypt, can contact a sympathizer in Alexandria, Virginia in just mere moments, and they can start plotting. So the threat is different. It still exists. And he, making a point that, again, I mean, it's made over and over again, that this is not fighting a group, it's fighting an ideology.
Right. Easier said than done, especially with the communications, the online stuff. As soon as law enforcement seems to get a handle on it, the perps, the terrorists seem to change their habits. It's a never-ending struggle.
It's kind of like whack-a-mole, yeah. And so in this case, there's just that continuing concern. And I think that we'll maybe always live with it. I mean, we always want to go back to the good old days or the bad old days, before all this. And we have children who were born and never understood there was a world without all the security at the airport, everywhere they go. They never grew up that way. And that makes a lot of us feel sad. But at the same time, Sessions was pointing out that, look, I mean, we've gone 17 years. No one could have imagined that 17 years ago that we wouldn't suffer another attack quite like this. In the days right after 9/11, everybody was sort of, looking over the shoulder thinking something could happen at any moment.
Right, and we go back to that old song, Have We Forgotten, Have You Forgotten, by Daryl Worley. And sometimes we seem to forget, what happened with the Boston bombings. It's not just these big attacks, but the biggest fear is that we'd have these isolated franchise-like sleeper cells or these lone wolves.
And we have, and we continue to have these situations just kind of pop up where there's a terrorist, a homegrown type of a person. We oftentimes call them lone wolves, but we find that they're going in some kind of pack, whether if it's online or here in some kind of a cell. But many times have been radicalized online, and that's where law enforcement gets its biggest challenge, because they'll end up connecting online, and then they'll go dark. They'll go into chat rooms. They'll go into SMS texting, things like that, where law enforcement needs a warrant to be able to follow them, and it goes cold.
Well, I was fascinated how they used like a Yahoo Mail account where they would put something in a draft. That way it would never appear, and everybody would have like the passwords and such.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. The war continues. Jeff Sessions still hanging in there, though.
Yeah. He's been keeping a low profile, but yesterday he did speak, and he's not fired yet.
That's kind of been the theme of my career. Not fired yet, Rachel.
I think that could be said of many of us. Yes, Kevin.
Finally, I know you're crunched for time, but, in the East Coast, obviously, South Carolina, very near and dear to your heart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in fact, I just got off the phone with somebody who's retired, but was a longtime reporter in Myrtle Beach, and he just told me that people are evacuating who normally don't. Like people who usually ride out storms are saying, hold up, we're out of here, and boarding up and leaving. And so he actually lives in one of these tiny houses because they retired and got one of those. And I guess they dragged it behind them. They went to Georgia. But I also am in contact with people who have to stay for work and other reasons. And this is a monster that, they keep seeing the track of the storm. Even Washington, D.C. is under a state of emergency.
Yeah, and last week it was the humidity, and now the state of emergency. If anything happens, I know you'll be on the case, Rachel.
Yep. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, Rachel Sutherland. Remember, when you hear Fox News on the radio in the Treasure Valley, You're listening to your home for Fox News, KIDO Talk Radio, a proud original affiliate of Fox News Radio. My name is Kevin Miller. If you're just tuning in, we're going over marvelous Maxine Waters. She's bragging that she's going to get the president. I'm thinking, you really want to get do you really want to get along with people? No, they don't. You have to call them out. They seek to destroy us. That's why we're here. By the way, we have a new listener to the program. We'll just call her Santa Cruz Linda. Her name is Linda. She and I used to talk about many issues years ago. She retired, moved to California. Linda, Santa Cruz Linda, why in the world would you move from beautiful Idaho to California? She says it's fun listening to the program here because it's, free expression as opposed to the state-sponsored media in the Republic of California. And I love what, and like I said, Santa Cruz Linda is listening right now. And Kevin, we love it here. We're near our family, of course. That's why we came here. But just letting you know, there are some of us that are doing fine, even if we disagree with you, with some of your politics at the times. Well, Linda, Santa Cruz Linda, you get it. You're not Maxine Waters, but many of the people, and I'll say this respectfully, many of the people of your ilk don't seek to get along with us, to disagree with us, but seek to render us, like we were under Obama, neutered and neglected. Let's go back to Maxine Waters. She's got a plan for the libs.
And it's not simply about resistance. It's about ensuring that we help people to understand that we deserve better. Yes. That this deplorable, despicable human being that occupies the White House should not be there. We should not be comfortable with it. We should not think about how somebody else is going to deal with. This is all of our fight. Yeah. And every day I say, I'm in this fight. Yeah. I'm in this fight and I'm not going to move. And as you know, there's a difference in how some of our leadership talk about how we should handle all of this. They say, Maxine, please don't say impeachment anymore. And when they say that, I say impeachment, 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 impeachment. One of the reasons we must talk about what to do with someone who disrespects the Constitution,
Now, wait a minute. Maxine Waters, if you missed it, urged people to harass people that disagree with her. Maxine Waters, exactly, urged people to be disruptive, and she's going to go after the president. Now, you don't have to be Judge Kavanaugh to think, what the bleep is going on?
I'm in this fight, and I'm not going to move. And as you know, there's a difference in how some of our leadership talk about how we should handle all of this. They say, Maxine, please don't say impeachment anymore. And when they say that, I say impeachment, 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 impeachment.
And they're laughing. Now, can you imagine if, I don't know, if this was Sean Hannity or Bill O'Reilly? No, let's say it was Congressman Labrador. Or let's say it was Jim Jordan. Let's say it was a conservative member of Congress that said these things. At 580-5436. 580-KIDO. Would this be major news, urging the impeachment of the president? This is what it comes down to. And I don't know if you've ever been in a fight in your life, maybe verbally, although in our day there wasn't a such thing as a verbal fight. But if you've been in the ring, the octagon, the parking lot, the wrestling mat, the taekwondo studio, the ring, there comes a time when you just put up or shut up. The libs are telling us what they're going to do. They're broadcasting right from Libville. They are going to go after the president. And can you imagine if you have Jerry Nadler, and you're going, Jerry Nadler, who's that guy? He's from east of the Great River, and Jerry will be head of the Judiciary Committee. You think we've heard about Russia with Mueller? You wait till the libs take over. That's really what's at stake. Now, a lot of people say, Kevin, it's college football time. Kevin, I get tired of you in politics. In fact, we have a really dear friend who supports this program, has been there through thick and thin, a wonderful family man, great person in the community, goes, Kevin, I can't take the negativity anymore. I got to peace out. I understand that. Heck, there are a lot of times that I'd like to peace out and go, hey, what about that Oklahoma State-Boise State game? That's going to be fun. But I can't, because then they win. And if we focus on other things, focus on the fun stuff, and maybe politics isn't fun for a lot of us, they win. That's what's at stake.
Go enjoy your beer and ride your ATV and watch sports. We'll run the country.
God bless our friend Chris Troupas. That's what it comes down to at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Maxine, Jerry Nadler, and others, they're tired of you having the freedom. They want to go back to, not that there's anything wrong with that, being politically correct.
Holy cow.
More on that. Your thoughts. Are you, so again, Maxine has spelled it out for us. Old Maxine has spelled it out for us. She's saying impeach, impeach, impeach. Now, if there is a liberal listening to this program, and I know what you're saying, Kevin, why would a liberal listen? It's the same reason why I watch MSNBC. I can't get enough of it. I disagree with them all the time, but I love it. I'd like to hear, what has Donald Trump done to deserve impeachment? Absolutely nothing. Donald Trump saved America. Now, we may not like his actions, his mannerisms. We probably wouldn't invite him over for supper. We probably wouldn't have him over for, to just hang out. He's kind of like that person at work that, you have your work life and you have your home life. At 580-5436, he's done absolutely nothing except bring America back. What type of world are we living in where that's a crime? Kevin Miller on 107.5 FM, 580 AM, KIDO Talk Radio. Welcome back to Maxine Plays the Hits with Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. Mike in Boise, good morning. You're on KIDO Talk Radio. Hello, Mike.
Hey, good morning, Kevin. We've spoken once before. How you doing today?
Living the dream, and you?
I'm doing pretty well. Hey, I was just going to throw out a couple of comments as far as deserving of impeachment. I don't think Donald Trump deserves impeachment immediately whatsoever. I think it's just a big panic button that the libs are doing. However, I think that a lot of, the Steele dossier, for example, we call it the Dodgy dossier. The problem with that, though, is a lot of it has been proven accurate, and there's still some that hasn't been proven yet, and the key word is yet. I'm a little bit worried about the way Trump runs things with, the different inside the White House and things like that. People, there's things that aren't verified, but yet most presumably accurate. I'm not quite sure what you think, Kevin, but I've got a couple of thoughts as far as if the evidence unfolds in the Mueller probe that he did conspire with Russia. He keeps on saying no collusion, but that's really just a mantra that keeps being said. It hasn't been proven or disproven. So I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt, just like a lot of conservatives. However, I'm still keeping, my eyes open as to what could develop in the future. Right now, no impeachment. In the future, if it's proven that he's committed crimes and misdemeanors and he's colluded with Russia, I can't see how we can have a guy like that running the country, no matter how conservative he is.
I just don't see the collusion. I see, and I listen to Sean all the time, Mike. Maybe I'm
Sure.
biased by that, but the Bruce Orr, his wife, the Fusion GPS, all these things going on, Hillary Clinton. You talk to people in the Justice Department, you talk to people that have worked for the federal government, they get prosecuted for this stuff. And Trump, based on all these allegations and everything else, Jeff Sessions was in a room with 400 people, and because of that, he recused himself, and people are calling him a liar. It's crazy.
Right.
You know what I'd like? I'd like the same standard for the libs.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. I think it should be a fair playing field. However, there's just concerns that I've got. For example, Jeff Sessions. He recused himself because he did misspoke about, what he had spoken to Russians about during the campaign. That was what a lot of people agree was the correct thing to do, but right now we've got a president with a vendetta that wants to shame him into quitting. There's little things like that that make me worry about a republic, that it's really running correctly as far as the checks and balances thing go. And I don't think he's worthy of impeachment right now. I really don't, Kevin, but I also think that there's been some actions, and I kind of want to see how it plays out a little bit more that gave me some concern.
Appreciate you, Mike. Thank you very much.
Hey, Kevin, nice talking to you again. I've spoken with you once before. Have a great day, and I enjoy your program.
Enjoy you, sir. Thank you.
Yep.
There we have it. Mike has some questions. Traffic and weather together, KIDO Talk Radio.
I'm meteorologist Jim Duffy.
Kevin Miller in the morning here, KIDO Talk Radio. Phone numbers 580-5436, 580-KIDO. So we've got Maxine. And by the way, we've heard from Santa Cruz Linda, maybe someday Santa Cruz Linda. She's listening online, KIDOTalkRadio.com, or maybe the KIDO Talk Radio app. No, they don't pay me extra to say the call letters. They don't pay me extra to say, well, yeah, they pay me. That's right. They don't pay me extra to say the app, but it is great that you can just put it on your phone and boom, you can get the Kevin Miller Show or Dave Ramsey or Sean Hannity or Lars Larson, plus the podcasts and everything else that's available at the app. So Santa Cruz Linda, maybe she's listening online or, like I said, on the app. Our old friend I said he can't take the negativity. He's back. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you. I understand your concern. I would love to check out, too. It's funny. Do you ever go on vacation and you find that you have more time to read, and instead of reading something light, you read something heavy? Like I just found this book on Amazon, Cola Wars, which is the history of the battles between Coke and Pepsi. And I'm fixated by it. I read it when I was in the military, working my way through college, and I got halfway through it. So I found it. You just kind of delve into it. I find that when I'm away, I get more involved in the politics than each and every day. Now, the left wants to discredit us. The left wants to say, oh, Kevin Miller's bad, Sean Hannity is bad. Because they get rid of us, then they get rid of you. And all of a sudden you're going to have two slappies talking to each other about the weather or garage sales or something of that nature. That's their agenda. And we saw that with Obama. And that's why we've got to stop Maxine. We've got to stop Paulette Jordan. We've got to, again, keep Idaho right. Coming up next hour, we're going to go talk a little education. By the way, Compass Public Charter School is our school of the week, thanks to Cap Ed Credit Union, Team Mazda Subaru. But a school, and we talked a little bit about it last hour, we didn't really get into it. A school is actually saying, and this is a school in Georgia, is saying, hey, we're going to bring back corporal punishment. And if you want your kid to be spanked, you have to sign a permission slip. Now, you don't have to live in Georgia to have that conversation. Did it work for you? Maybe it didn't work for you. We're going to talk about it next. Fox News on your home for Fox News on the radio in the Treasure Valley. 107.5 FM, 580 AM, KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning.